Hey guys, it's Blaze here, back with another video, and this one is a special one. The first deck profile on the channel. We have Lyrilusc, the deck that beat Team Roku Rex in one turn OTK. Not the most consistent deck, but really fun. Let's get on into it. First, we play 3 Lyrilusc Turquoise Warbler. Let's get into better lighting. There you go. When you have no monsters on the field, you can special summon her from your hand. And when special summoned from the hand, you could special summon another Lyrilusc from the hand or grave. Pretty nice effect. Want to open her first turn. Then, what is the second best one? Lyrilusc Cobalt Sparrow. Good for recovery plays. When it's special summoned, add a level 1 wing beast type monster from the deck to your hand. And it's only used once per turn. And when it's used for summon for win exist monster, it gains the effect of your opponent not being able to target it with card effects. Lastly, Sapphire Swallow, also good for recovery plays, but the least consistent of the 3. I don't know why there's only 3, but still cool. Its effect reads, if you control a wing beast type monster, you can special summon both this and one level 1 wing beast type monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Lyrilusc Sapphire Swallow once per turn. And when it's used to summon a wing exist monster, you can target a Lyrilusc in the grave and attach it as material. Good for the Lyrilusc exist. Okay, that's all for the Lyrilusc, and let's get on to the support. We play 2 Raid Raptor Lastrix used for the win button cards, which I will get into later. And for support, we play 2 King Caballo. It can't be special summoned, but when it's summoned, you can target level 1 in the graveyard and special summon it. Great for plays of your links or your exist monsters. Next, we have 2 Turbo Booster. If you have already normal summon, you can special summon it. Also nice with King Caballo. We play 1 just for comfort, free summon, and a nice tech card, Vijam the Cubic Seed. It can't be destroyed by battle, and at the end of the damage step, if this card battle the opponent's monster, you place in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card. And you get to place 1 cubic counter on your opponent's monster, and that monster can attack or activate their effects. Well, actually, its effects are negated. Yeah. Next, you have 1 Performapal Trump Witch. Good to go into your fusion monsters in your extra deck. You don't really want to summon it often. Next, as for the hand traps, we play 3 Battle Fader. The deck isn't really consistent, so you want to last as long as possible. Next up, one of the best hand traps in the game, 3 Effect Failure. Good for stopping your opponent's effects. And 1 Drill and Lock Board, just for the Drill and Lock Bird, just to stop rogue decks. Off to your spells. We play 3 Werewolf Dow. The searcher of the deck, get any access to any of your monsters pretty much, and you just pay 2,000 pretty much because those monsters are usually special summoned. Next, for the attack boost for the Lyrilusc exist monster, we have 3 Unstable Evolution. Make its base attack 2,400 and or 1,000 if your life points are higher. So if your life points are lower than your opponent's, it becomes 2,400 base attack, and 1,000 if your life points are higher than your opponent's. But that's good for the Lyrilusc exist because it starts out as 0, and I'll read the effect for that later. Also, Psychic Blade. You pay life points for the attack gain as well. So these cards help you OTK. Next up, since all your monsters are level 1 and have really low attack, you use Creature Swap, 2 copies. help to take your opponent's monsters, and give them your garbage. Next, instant fusion. Similar to creature swap, just take away your opponent's monsters with not relinquish, Thousand Eyes restrict. And standard 3 called by the Graves. Now for the only trap in the deck, I play 1 Harpy's Featherstorm. It negates any monster effects your opponent activates if you have a wing beast monster on the field. Now let's go into the side deck. I don't have a complete side deck for the deck because I don't really use it much, but we have 3 DD Crow, 2 World Chalice Guard Dragon, 2 Lost Wind, the other 2 copies of Harpy's Featherstorm, and 1 Gravity Bind, since all your monsters are already under level 4, usually for the Thunder Dragon matchup. But side deck is always up to personal preference. Now to get into the extra deck. Win condition of the deck, Lyrilusc Assembled Nightingale. Let me read you the effect. This card gains 200 attack for each Xyz material attached to it. That's why you have so many cards so many monsters use special summon. You will get all 5 onto the field to get it to 1,000 attack. Plus with the other spell equip cards to gain its attack as well. And this card can attack directly. And while it has material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of Xyz material to attach to it. And once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card until the end of this turn. Lyrilusc monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no battle damage. So even if you can't OTK that turn, you can stop your opponent from dealing damage to you and survive another turn. Sorry guys, I'm sick right now. And also another card to use with that, if you go into that next turn, you go into Recital Starling just as recovery card. As a recovery card and a Ring of Destruction if you were to attack with it, and also to beef up your Assembled Nightingale even more. Next up we play 1 Lionheart, and a card not really played because level 1s aren't played, but it's still a great card. You could pretty much deal like double damage to your opponent from their monster's attack. And next up, 1 Utopic Future. Good card overall for for rogue decks. And then you also play 1 Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon and 1 number 77 to 7 Sims. These 2 are practically win buttons. That's why you play the last Trixes for. You can tribute it to summon Raid Raptor Geese, which will be your Ultimate Falcon. But your opponent takes no battle damage that turn. But you won't be using that Ultimate Falcon. You will be going into 7 Sims with it. So that's a nice win button there. 7 Sims can also stop its own destruction once by using the materials. Next up for your fusions, you play 1 Lyrilusc Independent Nightingale. That's why you play the Trump Witch. If you use the Xyz monster to summon it, you can increase the level by the material that I had. So that would also be a play for the second turn if you don't OTK the first turn. And its attack is equal to 500 times its level, so it could get really beefy. And it's also unaffected by card effects. And you could use its secondary effect to deal 500 damage times its level to your opponent. So it's like attacking twice. Next we have the Thousand Eyes Restrict, the other card. You can also summon this with Instant Fusion, either of them. You can use Instant Fusion to go into this, to go into the Assembled Nightingale to OTK the first turn if you open it. Or if you're going second, you could use Thousand Eyes Restrict to take your opponent's boss monster and then go off from there. And for links, I play 2 firefighting Daruma dolls. You could use practically any of the cards in your deck to summon it. And it's back row wipe. Not wipe, but it's like a MST. And when it destroys a monster by battle, you can add any monster pretty much from your graveyard to your hand. Next up, we play 1 Link Karibo, because your whole deck is level 1. 1 Deco Talker. I'm planning on replacing that with something else better. And finally, the Borolo Dragon. You have so many monsters to special summon, so you can just go into that if your first option doesn't work, and take your opponent's monster and pretty much beat down. Alright guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you all. Have a nice day.